If your email list isn't growing, I can almost guarantee you that it's one of these 4 mistakes, if not more, that you're making that's costing you email list subscribers and even worse, customers. I've built an engaged email list of over 47,000 subscribers that reply to my emails, buy my products, and refer my newsletter to other people in my industry. And that's why in today's episode, I'm gonna help you fix the 4 most common mistakes I see when people are trying to grow their email list, but it's just not working. In this episode, you'll learn why even if you're sharing about your freebie, nobody is downloading it, where to look for some easy email list building opportunities that aren't PDFs or complicated downloads or videos, why the way that you're sharing your freebie might be the reason that nobody is downloading it, and how to easily find more email list subscribers like the ones that you already have, which is a lot less work. All right, let's jump into these 4 mistakes so that we can turn them around today. And if you want to follow along and go even deeper on all of the mistakes that we're going to go over today on building your email list, go ahead and download the ultimate guide to building your email list. It's a free guide that I've created for you. I'll link it down in the description below, or just comment grow and I'll send you the link. In the free guide, I'll teach you how to build your email list and fix these most common mistakes. So let's hop into the first one. Mistake number 1, your freebie sucks. Okay, I'm sorry to say it, but it might be true. Like, your freebie might suck. A lot of times people create freebies because of 2 things. One is that they see other people offering a similar freebie in their niche, so they just go ahead and create the same freebie and think that that's gonna work great for them too. Or 2, you create a freebie because you think it's a good idea, or you just think it's the way that whatever you talk about should be packaged. So you create that freebie and start promoting it, but then no one's biting. So it could be that your freebie itself is actually not a good freebie, or it could be that the freebie is not packaged correctly. It could be, that it doesn't have a great title, or that you're not even explaining it in a way that makes it really enticing for other people. So don't worry about it. We're gonna dive into all of that throughout all of today's video. So if you're worried that your freebie might suck, here's the deal. Your freebie has to be a no-brainer, what I call a no-brainer freebie, which is exactly what it sounds like. When other people hear about your freebie, it has to be a no-brainer that they are willing to start getting marketing messaging from you to drop their email in and get this free thing in exchange. Oftentimes, the best way to create a no-brainer freebie is to create one that you know is going to offer a quick win or a solution, solve a problem for your ideal customer or the person who you want to download this freebie. If you really focus on this freebie being actually helpful, you're going to get a lot more people to download it than just creating a freebie because you see other people in your space offering a PDF, so you create a PDF. What about it could you put a unique spin on? How can you offer something different? In fact, I would even challenge you to look around your space and see something that is not being offered that you know would make a great idea. It would be really helpful, solve a quick or easy win for somebody, and that they would just be like, duh, here's my email list. I want your freebie, send it to me. So your little homework for mistake number 1 is that I want you to step back and be honest with yourself. Did you create this freebie for you because you thought it was a good idea? Did you create this freebie because you saw it already being offered? Or did you put some time and thought and maybe even some research into this freebie that you know is a no-brainer freebie for the right audience? Tell me in the comments if you've got a no-brainer freebie or if this is part of what you're going to revisit. And with that, let's hop into mistake number 2. Mistake number 2, and the reason that your email list might not be growing, is that you don't share your freebie often enough, if at all. And if you do share it, it's that you don't share it consistently or clearly. That's probably the biggest mistake I see in the online business industry. So tell me in the comments if this is you, but a lot of times people make the mistake of creating a freebie, popping it on their website or putting a link to it on social media, and then kind of kicking back and relaxing and being like, where is everybody? Why isn't everybody showing up? It's kind of like you planning and hosting a party, but you never sent out any invites, right? People aren't just going to magically show up to your party. Here's what I want you to do. I want to challenge you to try sharing about your freebie every single day. Let's say for 30 days straight, right? Let's see what happens to your email list if you share about your freebie, or every other day you switch which one you share about, and you share about this freebie consistently, right? No matter what kind of piece of content you're creating, whether it's a YouTube video, a podcast episode, an Instagram post, anything you're creating on your website, have a call to action for people to sign up for your email list. In fact, I often create content with that in mind first, right? So I think first, okay, I want to promote this freebie because my goal is always to build my email list. What piece of content can I create that naturally lends itself to my freebie or my opt-in, right? I think oftentimes people create content and then they try to squish a piece of like a freebie into it, right? And they kind of do it in the wrong direction. So instead, I want to invite you to reverse engineer your content for the next time you're going to plan your content. Think about what all the freebies you want to promote and what kind of content would naturally lend itself to that freebie being the call to action. Now, here's the deal. Just sharing about your freebie every single day, like if you shared about your freebie every day for 30 days, it wouldn't just magically grow unless you're really good at it, right? The thing that I think you get out of the practice of sharing this consistently is that you get the reps in to learn how to talk about your product or your freebie or whatever it is, right? It's not always just about how often we share about this thing, but it's actually about how you explain it. People need to know what it is and what's in it for them. Remember what we went over in mistake number 1. This has to be a no-brainer freebie that provides some quick win or solution. So I think that one of the biggest benefits to sharing about your freebie consistently is that you will get better and better with time on what actually works, because you'll share something and you'll hear crickets and you'll be like, oh, that didn't speak to people even though I thought it would. And then other times you'll share about something and it will really speak to people and it will take off. It's also a way that you can test out which freebies speak to your audience. So I think sharing often and getting your reps in when it comes to talking about your freebies is a great way to learn how to build your email list even faster. Now, in terms of how you share about your freebie, whatever kind of piece of content you're creating, I typically follow the problem, agitate, solution framework. When in doubt, just come back to the simple PAS formula. It's super easy for you to just introduce the problem that you know that your ideal customer is having. Sometimes we agitate a little more by going a little deeper. I'll explain with an example in a sec. And then you can position yourself, your product, or right now your freebie as the solution, as the thing that's going to bring them closer to whatever they would like to resolve. Okay, so let's take this free legal guide that I have that thousands and thousands of people have downloaded in the past. When I present this on something like Instagram, for example, I would probably pitch a problem to the person who's viewing my Instagram stories or seeing my post by saying, like, I know that legal is so overwhelming, so complicated, and you've just wanted to stick your head in the sand and pretend like it didn't exist. Okay, that's the problem. I would agitate it even further by going, but yet sticking your head in the sand has you waking up at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat, wondering if your business is going to crumble faster than a deck of cards, right? Because I'm really painting that visual for the person that, like, I know my ideal customer very well, and I know that my ideal customer is very nervous about the legal stuff. They're very nervous about what could happen to them or their business if they didn't get this stuff in place. And so I know from my research and from paying attention to what they're saying that they are literally waking up in the middle of the night worrying that their business isn't legally protected. So they've tried putting it off. They worry that it's overly complicated. They worry that it's expensive and boring. They worry that it's too early for them, but yet they're being woken up in the middle of the night and worrying about it. And so that's why then I would pitch my solution of saying, that's why I created this free legal guide for you that easily walks you through step by step exactly what you need to do to legally protect yourself and your business. No more, waking up at 2 a.m. You can finally sleep through the night with a sigh of relief knowing that you're protected. Like, that's just off the top of my head of kind of going through that problem, agitate, solution framework. Okay, tell me down in the comments below, after hearing mistake number 2, what do you think is one easy thing that you could change about your freebie to make it more compelling, or about the way that you share it? Is there even a problem, agitate, solution framework that you want to share with me? Put it down in the comments below. I would love to know what it is. Okay, mistake number 3 of why your email list isn't growing is that you're not looking for easy email list building opportunities that maybe even aren't freebies or complicated webinars or funnels. Things I love, but don't always need to be involved. Okay, here's an example that happened just the other day. So people are always asking me questions in my DMs and my inbox about like small business taxes or how do I pay myself? I think how do I pay myself is probably one of the top questions that I get. And I've done podcast episodes on this on my podcast, on your terms. And so we're always, writing them back and saying, here's this episode, here's that episode. So the other day I had this idea of like, hey, these are really popular episodes. These are also really common questions. A lot of them have the general theme of money, right, for small business owners. why don't we put that into a Spotify playlist? And the next time people ask us for this, we send them this link to actually opt in to get the playlist, right? I also thought I would set up a mini chat DM, which we did on Instagram same day. And if anybody DM me the word money on Instagram, then it would say, hey, what's your first name? They put in their first name. What's your email? They put in their email. I have ManyChat integrated with ConvertKit or Kit that I use to build my email list. So it automatically imports that person's information into my email list on Kit. And then we immediately DM them the link to the money playlist. So there was no gatekeeping there. I just made them opt into my emails in order to get this easy playlist that we put together for them. And on the playlist, they then get an episode about small business taxes, about how to pay themselves, and about business expenses and some of the things that are most commonly, mistaken for business expenses that aren't actually expenses. So it's a great playlist. And I was so surprised the other day. I shared this on Instagram and it was like, ding, 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 ding. Like my DMs were just blowing up with people opting in for this playlist. So there's a perfect example where this didn't have to be a complicated PDF. It wasn't an hour-long webinar. It was a super simple playlist. You could do this with maybe a secret podcast. It could be a quick video. There could be all kinds of resources that you could create for people. You don't have to make it complicated. One of my other top freebies that was super easy to put together is an email walkthrough. So when the beneficial ownership information thing came down for business owners to be, legally required to file last year, I went through and filed my BOI form in real time and recorded myself on Loom doing it. So I filled it out. I was talking you through the process. It was a 5-minute video. We had thousands of people opt in for this video. It solved a huge problem for them. It was a very quick win that solved a huge problem. It was easy to explain, hey, you're gonna watch me, a lawyer, fill out this BOI form in real time so that you can file yours for free. All I'm asking for is your email. Do you see how that hits my checklist of it's a no-brainer, it was designed for them, it's easy to explain, and it wasn't complicated to make. I looked for an easy email list building opportunity. Before we move on to the final mistake, I also wanted to encourage you to think about this when you're creating content, that you might be creating content with just the hope of getting more engagement or getting a lot of comments or a lot of views. But if you have your own business, I would encourage you to approach every piece of content from a place of, how can this support my email list growth? So the other day, for example, we're getting really close to my debut book, When I Start My Business, I'll Be Happy, coming out. And I said, you know what? I should do some signed copies and we should give away signed copies of my book. We were thinking through what we want to ask people to do in order to enter to win a signed copy of my book. And I thought, easy email list building opportunity, have people opt in to Sam's Sidebar, my weekly newsletter, which you can get down in the link in the description. And once they do, they're entered to win a signed copy of my book. So again, easy, doesn't always have to be a big thing. Tell me in the comments below, did this mistake inspire you to think of any easy email list building opportunities for your business? I wanna know what it is. I think we could all share and help each other. Or if you're gonna steal one of the ones that I just mentioned, tell me which one you like the most because I wanna hear. Okay, mistake number 4 is not looking for shareable opportunities or using referrals to build your email list. Like most things in your business, if you only ever focus on growing your email list and not nurturing the people that you already have there, you're missing a huge opportunity for growth. If your emails are really good, people are going to want to share about it, whether it's with their friends or on social media or sharing a link to it in the course that they're in. At the bottom of my weekly emails, Sam's Sidebar, I actually include an easy referral link so that if anybody forwards my email to a friend or shares it somewhere, people can easily click the link that's in that email to add themselves to my email list. In the past, I've also used referral software at the bottom of my emails where I've encouraged my email list subscribers to refer my newsletter to a friend and then offered up a series of prizes or additional free content that is private and gate kept somewhere if they were to refer it to a friend. And every time, they refer it to one person or 5 people, 10 people, the prizes got better and better. You could also ask a online business friend that you have or somebody else who's in a similar space as you but doesn't have the exact same, offering as you to do a newsletter swap or a newsletter mention or even mention one of your freebies if you think that freebie is already doing really well. So if you already know, hey, people are downloading this, they're loving it, they're getting a quick win, then use those stats to pitch it to somebody else to ask them to include it in their newsletter or share about it on social media. All right, so let's recap and fix these mistakes together, okay? Number one, we are going to make sure our freebies are a no-brainer. They offer a quick win or solve a quick problem, and we're easily communicating that in the messaging around our freebie. Number two, we're sharing our freebie consistently and we're practicing sharing it often, but we're also practicing positioning it as a problem, agitate, and solution framework to our audience to get them to opt in consistently. Three, we're looking for easy email list building solutions. We're looking for quick wins of ways to add people to our email list, not making it overly complicated or creating a web of emails and funnels all the time. And four, we're looking to referrals and companion audiences to help us build what we've already got going. If you haven't yet, make sure you get my free ultimate guide to building your email list in the comments down below. It's a free guide that I've created for you to solve all of the mistakes that we've talked about in today's video. And if you liked this video, then you're definitely going to want to watch this one next. And before you go, hit that like button and leave me a comment letting me know if you liked this video today. I can't wait to chat with you next week.